What's up guys, this is Gabe/Kev back to another crappy video. We're just going to do a thing about the macros, because we just finished 2 dungeons and they were kind of disappointing because stuff was broken. But we added a bunch of shit, so we'll just start with the priest. And we said a better solution would be, if not in combat, don't apply crusader. Oh fuck, we closed Notepad. So we just added, it's the same checking buff code, the loop. Oh fuck, this didn't save. We didn't save it. No, we did save it. It just fucks itself sometimes. The same check the buff. And then here where the else would be, you just add another if. If unit affecting combat equals nil. Lua has a dumbass thing where like false is like nil, not 0 or whatever, so you have to write that. So if it's not in combat, don't do crusader. And then to prove that, we're in this dungeon just because there's a nice single mob here to test things on, and it's pretty tanky. So crusader is on, everyone was following, we go into combat, the aura that we had set goes off, shadow, and then I press follow, and it's not swapping to crusader. So then we kill the mob, run, we press F, follow, we're out of combat, crusader's back on. Obviously that'll break if there's any situations where the priest would drop combat, but I don't think that's that common. That's just a small thing. Moving on to the rogue. We gained levels, so obviously you get the poison, so you can set the poison to 8, that's just a very minuscule thing. Then we set coldblood to 5, we had it on 4. Just to use it as soon as possible, but I guess we just save it for 5. Where did we even put it? Is it in buff 2? Yeah, it's in buff 2. Yeah. If combo points greater than 4, use coldblood. This is just saves one character if it's equals 5 or greater than 4. It's just like, it's a habit from like when you'd run out of space on macros. That's a tiny thing. And then we implemented dual spec. So because obviously the AoE sucks on a rogue. So you want to swap for blade flurry, and then because you're not 80 and you don't have fan of knives yet, we didn't copy it till all over here. We did it just to get blade flurry and then mutilate, and then the rest of the points are shit, so we just put them more into the tree here. Because mutilate's better than sinister. So why not use mutilate? Until you're 80, right? Once you're 80, I guess you use fan of knives. So first you have a macro called spec. This just you have to, the problem, I thought maybe you could swap it, you could just put it in the AoE key so that whenever you press the AoE key it automatically swaps it over, but it's an actual spell that takes, what, like 4 seconds. And you can't do it in combat. So that macro just swaps between the two specs. So full assassin and the hybrid AoE one. And that's just set active talent group. And then obviously once you make that, you then need an AoE macro. So the AoE macro is the exact same macro, except we need to cast Blade Flurry, but we couldn't. The macro would just break if we put Blade Flurry in. These are all commented out lines, obviously, so the macro would just break if you try to chuck in Blade Flurry. So we just had to put it on J. So the rogue, all the DPS gets sent 1 FJ anyway, and we just put Blade Flurry on J because putting an extra check in here just broke the whole macro, and then the rogue stopped attacking. But the rest of it's exactly the same, right? So yeah, and obviously you still use Blade Flurry on single target for the attack speed. The only issue is obviously if you're fighting like one mob before a pack, it just casts it and then it's not ready for when you actually want it, but that's not, doesn't really matter, right? It's just fluff for the DPS meters, right? So the rogue's not falling behind. And then while we were doing that, we just changed a few other things. I guess we'll just write this in here as well. Tricks update. Because the macro was breaking when we put in the Blade Flurry check, we thought maybe if we cleaned up, because we had the tar the tank cast Tricks of the Trade, so to get rid of one of these tars, we created this line, which is just, if you're in combat and Tricks of the Trade is off cooldown, then target the tank and cast it. And I thought maybe by changing this line, it would stop the macro breaking, but it didn't end up helping, but we just left this here anyway. So this is just the exact same thing, but using Lua, not the WoW functions. And obviously then you can add extra checks like off cooldown and if you're in combat. Because we also weren't sure if this was causing, changing targets was causing to lose combo points, but that's not the case either. So this is just a better version of it. But it didn't solve the macro breaking. We still had to put Blade Flurry on a different key. And then the no combat stealth thing, we just changed it so that we added a stealth key. And this is just when it's out of combat and he goes into stealth, get the target from the tank and then don't do anything until you walk up to this range, which isn't melee range, but it's the closest you can get, and then start casting ambush, and sometimes it goes off. So this is just a bit of fluff for when you're the little trick to go in and out of stealth. And obviously on vanish it'll proc again, so you can just get an ambush off randomly. We still feel like you could get backstab to be better, but to demonstrate that is a bit more of a pain in the ass because you don't want to kill him so fast that everything dies. And these walls These walls are all walkable. So we just take the rogue out. We run over here. This is still on the screen, right? Yeah. Just charge here. And we swap to the rogue. Oh, the UI is fucked. Sometimes it zooms in for no reason. I don't know why. It's just client bugs. And then we just press 3 and F, and blade throw goes off. What was the issue here? Is this just keys not getting sent because this is on? Probably that, right? What was this issue again? I've forgotten. God damn it. I think this is just keys not going off because we're... Oh, it's because AoE with, yeah, there it goes. So 1FJ, everything goes off. Thing goes off cooldown, so we just press something. Take off cooldowns. 1FJ. That didn't work. But you can see things are going off, right? Blade flurry goes off. Yada yada yada. And then he goes into stealth. So if we do the... If we just respawn him, and you go into stealth, and you just aggro him, and then we just start pressing keys. Oh, but the broadcast isn't on. Turn that on. You see an ambush goes off? So... And then when the buff runs out, he'll probably die before that. 4 seconds. Oh, he'll die. That doesn't really matter. You saw the ambush goes off sometimes, and then he's back in stealth again. So that's just a bit of fluff. You can do proper backstab detection, but it's not really necessary here, so we can't be bothered. We did that way back in Classic. So that was just a bit of fluff. And obviously when you're not in Blade Flurry spec, it's the same. Spamming J doesn't matter because you don't have the skill. Yeah, so that doesn't matter. And then on the Warrior we just did the same thing because you can get the cleave points. So we just took points out of this, so you lose what, 6% damage, but you gain 120 cleave. And he has the same switching macro. Rage. Wait, which one is it? This is slam. Did we not put it on here? Or did it move? It's on a different stance? This got reset for whatever reason. We have the exact same macro anyway, spec. We were supposed to have it here. And this just swaps between the specs. So when we were doing the thing, it didn't actually swap, because we thought we were in, but the key hadn't updated, I don't think. But there's no big changes there, it doesn't really matter. Then just some extra fluff. These aren't macro related, but we actually read the talents, and so these two, we didn't even notice that these are single target. This nerves of cold steel and our dual wielding thing. So we got rid of these 2 points to get this, which is pretty huge. Because everything's two-hand. Like, I haven't seen a single one-hander that's anywhere close to, like, a two-hander. And then we just put points in here instead of here, because I feel like this is better. So that's just some minor things we changed on the DK. And then we remembered Quartermasters are a thing, and then there was just this chest that's pretty huge after Howling Forward. And then finally on the bear we just added, on the lacerate key, well, not on the lacerate key, because we changed the lacerate key to only do lacerate after your main 2 things, but when you pop berserk, you're just spamming mangle, right? So you're not actually doing lacerate. So we just put lacerate here. Wait, not here, it's on the berserk. If he doesn't even have 1 stack of lacerate, then do lacerate. Just so you get 1 stack so that everyone else can, well, the rogue can do the bleed thing. Because once you pop berserk, you don't actually have any GCDs to do lacerate with the macro. Oh, we didn't respawn the guy and he despawned. I guess we can just do... Does this work? Yeah. So if I just engage this guy and press 2... Does this still spam it when everything's off? I guess you still have the same problem. Oh, it goes off. Oh no, but it went on. Maybe it doesn't solve what you think it does. One always goes off first, so it would have to be, yeah, it doesn't actually do what you want it to. I guess that's, yeah, so it doesn't do what you want it to, just because the order of the keys, because it's sending them all at the same time, not in a sequence, I think. What about when it's what about when broadcasting is on? No, when broadcasting it on, it's fine. Because when it's off, it's not actually sending the... Ah, but that didn't go off. I don't know, maybe... I don't think it does what you think it does. I don't think it... it's because of the order of the keys and choose the news block, which skills go on. So that doesn't necessarily... do what you want it to. So yeah, there you have it. That's the updates so far. So until the next time. Next is what, Grizzly and Soul Drag. So until the next time, goodbye.